Cultures worldwide have been managing animal nutrition, distribution, and grazing impacts for thousands of years. Historically, the goal is to produce food and other animal products. Previous to land ownership, this goal was accomplished through herding practices. But now, even Mongolians are transitioning into a system similar to the family rancher in the U.S. These ranches are still tied to the environment, but they are designed to produce a profit. First, let's take a look at how family ranches and pastoral operations actually work. While each is unique to the family and to the land that supports it, there are many operational characteristics held in common that describe the structure and function of a grazing enterprise.
Well, to really understand how a ranch operates, you need to get some key information from the ranch plan. What are the management objectives for the ranch are real important. And then what are the resources on the ranch to support meeting those objectives? How are those resources allocated through the year? What's available through the year? Regardless of whether you're producing cows or sheep, horses, even llamas, every animal needs to eat every day. And so using a forage calendar can help you match those animals' needs to the forage resource in an intelligent way. So a forage calendar balances the needs of those animals as they go through the different stages of reproduction with the quality of the forage that's available through the year.
The holy grail of ranching is really something called carrying capacity. This is the quest to find the pressure of animals that won't damage an area. This number changes month to month, year to year. Too heavy and the vegetation will be overgrazed. Too little and money is lost in a business where the margins are already razor thin. The right balance is often described as a moving target, since the ecosystem is constantly in change.
Well, ranchers have some options about how they manage grazing. For example, if you want to reduce the selectivity of the grazing animals and increase uniformity of use, you can increase the number of animals per acre, and that will force them to not only eat the things they like, but also some of the things they don't like as well, but are still healthy. On the other hand, if you do that, you need to shorten up the duration that they're out there so that you don't end up overusing the pasture at that particular time. A family who's experienced at ranching, and a lot of times we have families that have been ranching for several generations, they understand their land and they understand the animals, and so they're quite capable of very precisely manipulating these three principles of grazing, or pillars of grazing.
Herders in Mongolia and ranchers in the U.S. both represent family operations that are closely tied to the land. Family management decisions are based largely on the rhythms of the natural landscape, the needs of their animals, and the values of their communities. Economics plays a role, but without shareholders, their ultimate objective is quality of life for their family, not profit. Carrie Hermans, her husband Levi, and their 4 children are one of those few families that have found a way to stay in the business.
Well, most ranchers, if they're if they're any good, know their animals by just looking at them. They can tell if they're an old or young or sick or healthy, or they may not have a name for each animal, but you know your animals. You really do. Whether it's your cows, your horses, or even your chickens, because you're around them every day, and you can tell by their behavior if something's wrong with them, or if they're about ready to have their calf, or whatever you need to know. Well, I guess you have to start the year somewhere, even though it's really a cycle, it's a circle, so there's no real beginning or end, but we'll start in January, so you're feeding the cows hay, and then they calve starting for us like beginning of February, and they calve through the middle of April, and then we brand all the calves, and then we'll continue feeding them hay till the grass comes on, which is depending on the year, you know, May 1st through the middle of May here. That varies throughout different places. Then we go to our Forest Service allotment, which is a higher elevation, and most cows go out there. And while they're gone, we grow hay in the fields that they live in all winter, and put the hay up, and then we gather them in the fall, like around September, and sell the calves at the sale yard anywhere September through October or November. And then we start feeding the cows the hay usually around December 1st that we grew all summer, and start the whole cycle again. Right now there's a couple of cowboys in the corral, and they're starting to rope. So the branding has officially begun. And then the ground crew, you know, 2 or 3 people, preferably strong, burly guys, will wrestle the calf to the ground using certain techniques which actually make it fairly easy on the calf and the people.
Just got a little graze on the nose by a little calf.
And then you vaccinate them so that they hopefully don't get certain diseases that calves are prone to get. And then you castrate the bull calves so that they're steers, because you don't want a bunch of bull calves in your herd. I mean, branding is hopefully something that, you know, you look forward to, and you see your neighbors and you have a good time, and hopefully it's a nice warm sunny day like today, and it's a fun event that people look forward to. Well, I hope to teach my kids from, you know, being raised in a ranching lifestyle, you know, the value of hard work and, you know, being able to work through tough spots and think on their own,